So in this video, I'm going to go through the video of Martin Brundle effectively admitting to knowing about the Abu Dhabi fraud. I was alerted to this by reading this article on Facebook via This Is Formula One, and I'm actually going to go through what Brundle actually said on this podcast. You can view the video, it's on Sky Sports F1 YouTube channel. I've only skimmed through this original video, so I might do a video in greater detail at some point in time. But I'm going to scroll back initially to somewhere within the 6-minute mark and then take us through to about the 33-minute mark, because that will expose the the major things. And if I then go back and watch it in detail, if I pick out anything else, I'll add that in a future video. Here we go. So this bit here starts at 5:58.
I enjoyed informing people. And a piece of advice Murray Walker gave me on the eve of the first race was, just remember, we're only here to inform and entertain, nothing else. And
you're here to inform and entertain. Well, you're there to talk about what's unfolding in front of your very eyes. That, as a sports commentator, is what your purpose is. Okay? If you're commentating on a football match, a cricket match, a rugby match, any form of sport, as a commentator on that sport, you are to convey to the crowd, to the watching audience, what is actually going on, okay? Explain it to them and apply context by informing them using the additional knowledge that you might have over and above theirs because you've been involved with the sport for a longer period of time and therefore you've built up a greater amount of knowledge. And that is your role, to pass that on to the viewer. So it is informing. The notion of entertaining is that you are adding to people's entertainment due to the fact that you are adding explanation to what is unfolding before their eyes. That is your value added. Now, if you are informing people, you are to give them accurate, authentic information, not lie to them about the rules and regulations of the sport, which is what you have actually done. You've used your role to lie to people, to condition people to accept falsehoods. That is filthy. That's a fraud. You are filthy, Martin Brundle. The comments section of this channel, of this video, I'll go through them in a minute.
I live by that mantra today.
No, you don't. You're a liar.
Because it was absolutely right. So I think if people have given up their spare time or hard-earned cash to sit alongside a racetrack or to be online or in front of the TV or whatever, they want...
Yeah. It costs us to invest our time and our energy and our money in buying TV subscriptions to watch what we were sold as being a sport. Yeah, it cost us money. And you defrauded us.
Want to know more about what they're watching. It's a fast-moving, highly complex sport. So
yeah, it's not that hard, mate.
I really enjoyed taking people on the journey, trying to... My job as the sort of co-commentator, expert witness, if you like.
Your job as the expert witness. No, you're the expert, therefore your role is to give people information that's going to aid their understanding of what it is that they're seeing. Explain to them the different dynamics that are in play. Okay, that is what your role is. But maybe they don't understand because they're not involved in motorsport.
Is to put people in the car, on the grid, on the pit wall, in the pit lane, and transport them on the journey that they're watching. And that's what I enjoy doing.
So that's the mantra you've ended up broadcasting by. I wonder, for those first few races, how did you find that?
Well, that's not the mantra he's broadcasted by. He's lied. He has lied, okay, to perpetrate a fraud. So I'm now going to take us through to about 33 minutes and we'll listen. I'm going to just pause and just cue it up at the right... Okay, I had to pause it sooner than I anticipated because an advert kicked in. So now I'm at 30 minutes, 55 seconds into this podcast, and this GIMP is about to ask a question. So let's play this through.
Let's move on to talk a bit more in detail about commentary. So you leave the grid, and Firstly, I'd like to know how you get to your commentary box. I imagine some tracks are easier than others to get to the commentary box, which is not always by the side of the grid. What do you do? I mean,
what an interesting question that is, you gimp.
You mentioned earlier you don't bring any notes to the commentary box. So what are you doing to prepare for a race, if anything?
Sunday morning we go to some briefings, Crofty and I, and...
You go to some briefings. What are them briefings about? Sunday morning, you go to a briefing. What do you need to be briefed about commentating on a sporting event? Surely you watch the event and see what's going on and talk about that. What do you need to be briefed about? Oh, we're going to talk about it this way at this event. Oh, who's going to win this one? Who have we got to pick? Oh, it's another one for Max, is it?
Get that sort of last minute knowledge, and teams are...
That last minute knowledge? What's that then?
Quite open at that point, because not a lot's going to change. They're not going to give you their race strategy, but they give you a lot of information. We just read all weekend. I go on track on a Friday, so I get a lot of knowledge from that. I talk relentlessly to people. I've got my touchstones in the paddock where we try.
So this is the bit where he's talking about he has his touchstones in the paddock.
Trade information, 3 or 4 people. If something big's going up, I will go and talk to Zach, Christian, Toto.
If something big is going up, what big is going up? Cheating? People breaking the rules? Yeah? Things that are going on in this sport that shouldn't be going on, and you go and speak to Zach and Christian and Toto.
Go and talk to somebody, and they won't tell me lies. If they can't tell me, they won't tell me, or they'll tell me something. I would say 60 or 70% of what I know I could never say on the TV.
60 or 70% of what you know about the sport of Formula One, you can't say. Why not? That would demonstrate that something corrupt is going on if you can't talk about it. If they're telling you things that you cannot talk about, that would display that there's something corrupt going on.
But that does give me the other 30%. And then it also means that it gives me a guidance, or I can give my Sky F1 colleagues a guidance on if we're heading off in the wrong direction or something.
If we're heading off in the wrong direction, what's that all about? What's that all about? If we're heading off in the wrong direction. So rather than talk about what you're seeing, oh, no, we're heading off in the wrong direction. We don't want to talk about it that way. Oh, we're seeing a safety car deployed with 5.4 laps of a race remaining. This looks like it could be a safe... Oh, no, that's the wrong direction, Crofty. There's bound to be a couple. Oh, this is the direction we need to inform the viewer, isn't it? This is the direction that we need to divert the viewer down. That is what you're doing, you filthy bastard, Brundle.
Thing. It's probably too much, 60 or 70%, but there's a lot of stuff you get to know and people tell you in great confidence. So you can't breach that confidence, otherwise you'll never get the other bit down the road. So we are in a sanctum. We get caught in the crossfire roads, so you can't breach that confidence. There's a lot of stuff or something, guidance on if we're heading off in the wrong direction or something.
That's disgusting. Guidance if we're heading off in the wrong direction.
It's probably too much, 60 or 70%, but there's a lot of stuff you get to know and people tell you in great confidence. So you can't.
So what do you know about Abu Dhabi 2021? Because in one of your post-event interviews, you said, and I've got it in many of my videos, I know an awful lot about the things that were going on in and around what happened. Oh, yes, you do, Martin. Your role, you were paid to actually condition the people. Oh, to send them in the right direction, weren't you? That's exactly what you were paid to do. You were part of the fraud. You were a key role in the fraud.
Can't breach that confidence, otherwise you'll never get the other bit down the road.
You're just a pile of criminals.
So, we are inner sanctum. We get caught in the crossfire.
Look at these terms that he uses. Oh, we are inner sanctum. And the thing is, the brain dead mofos that will be watching this will be going, oh, this is incredible. Martin's talking about the secrets that he knows. Oh, this is brilliant. No. See what's really going on here. Martin is aware of things that are going on in this sport that are corrupt that he has to hide. Whoa, that should set the alarm bells ringing. But the way it's put to them, they think this is great. Oh, this is brilliant from Martin. We love Martin.
The most unpleasant time I've known in all these years of commentating was Abu Dhabi 2020.
Yes, Abu Dhabi 2021. The most important time I've known in all of the time that you've commentated, Martin. That applies to every single one of us. Let's just say that again.
Sanctum. We get caught in the crossfire. The most unpleasant time I've known in all these years of commentating was Abu Dhabi 2021.
Oh, and everyone wants to keep saying, oh, move on already. Move on already. No. It was a crime, and we will never move on until everything is rectified and the criminals are held to account for the crimes that they've committed. Brundle being one of them.
2021 in general, because it became so feisty, so aggressive.
Why? Why did 2021 become so feisty and so aggressive? I'll tell you the reason why, is that the sport wanted Max Verstappen to win. They didn't want Lewis Hamilton to win an 8th championship, so they facilitated Max Verstappen breaking the rules, driving Lewis Hamilton off the track multiple times, committing multiple infringements without penalty, enabling Max Verstappen to have a greater chance of success in that championship battle. And the FIA facilitated that by never penalising him, and Sky Sports projected that Lewis Hamilton was to blame all of the time and never revealed the true nature of Max Verstappen's filthy infringements. And you're saying you got caught in the crossfire. You were in a role. You were validating Max Verstappen.
Between Mercedes and Red Bull. And Sky kind of got caught up in the middle of that. We got caught in...
No, you didn't. You were contracted, you were employed to validate Verstappen. And vilify Lewis Hamilton. You are filthy.
The crossfire, basically. And each team pretty much felt if you weren't with them, you had to be against them. And they both...
And this is the gaslighting, narcissistic nature of Red Bull. Red Bull were the perpetrators, continually perpetrating the offences and then projecting, oh, the media is against us. Oh, the media hates us. Oh, it's the British bias against us. And that seems to have conditioned the minds of the many, doesn't it? The British bias, supposedly. Absolute brain-dead morons. We can go through the comment section. Brain-dead morons believing the notion of British bias because you're conditioned to believe it from the likes of Horner and Wheatley and Marco and Newey. Filthy, narcissistic bastards.
Felt that, and it was really uncomfortable, actually, that whole phase. But friendships remained, and we all moved on. So we just gather knowledge and then try and share it.
What then for you is important in a good commentary? Again, what do you look for, and what makes you go, yeah, I did a good job there? That I feel like I nailed that race.
So we have to, you know how teams have got a group of people on the pit wall, in the garage, and then back at base doing the strategy, looking at their two cars and trying to work out what their main rivals are doing. We try to do that for all 10 teams without all the data. So,
well, that's a lie. Okay, without all the data, because often you quote statistics, and them statistics are derived from data. You don't quote the statistics about how many laps of a Grand Prix are usually essentially taken out of the race due to a safety incident. You know it. All the teams do. They do the data crunching. When I did my video about Charlie Whiting, 2018 Chinese Grand Prix. You talk about these rafts of analysts at each of the teams, these rafts of engineers doing the data analysis. Yeah, they know. You lied. So, I'm going to cut this video off here. Rather than talk about any more, all you do need to actually understand is that they've got the comment section here. When we scroll down to it, what they got now, 201 comments. And we've got the brain dead, could listen to Martin all day. Oh, legend, international treasure. Great to see Martin doing this. Absolute legend of the sport. All these positive comments from the brain dead, not realizing that Martin Brundle is a fraudulent bastard. Okay, a fraudulent bastard is what Martin Brundle actually is. Lied and conditioned the global population to believe that they weren't watching a fraud unfold before their very eyes. That is what Martin Brundle is. And I went down this, and the majority of these comments are extremely positive because it's brain dead people that just don't understand. This is the conditioned mind. 200 comments that have bothered to even comment, and they all think that Martin Brundle's incredible. Unbelievable, isn't it? Well, it's not unbelievable. This is the nature of it. And here it is. This is one I actually. So I recognise the thumbnail there and the name. Cameron CC Brundle Goat. Yeah, some of you might be subscribed to that mofo. Thick as pig shit that has been dried in the sun and likes to suck on the Dutch sausage. So if you're a strap-on fanboy, go and get yourself across to Cameron, okay? Because he thinks Brundle is the goat. Cameron is after your clicks. He wants you to subscribe to his channel because Cameron wants the money from you watching his videos. Okay, I don't give a shit about that now. Okay, because ultimately it's not going to define me. What's going to define me is not being a YouTuber. Okay, it's going to be where this is going to go. And yes, it would be good to raise the funds via this YouTube channel. But if it's going to take too long, this is going to happen, and it's going to happen pretty soon. So, watch this space. Watch this space. Anyway, thank you all for your time. Until next time.